My name is Sergeant Andrew Turco.
I'm Suzanne Blake. I head up MIT Emergency Management.
Thank you for joining us for the Active Shooter Violent Intruder Awareness Training.
So MIT is lucky that we have a very robust emergency response structure. My office is the Office of Emergency Management. We sort of do the coordination and planning and preparedness piece of things. And we have a lot of other partners that we work with on a regular basis. Our main first responders on campus are MIT EMS and MIT Police. So they respond to the scene of emergencies. They do a lot of prevention and education also ahead of time as well. We also work with IS&T on our technologies to get information out to you all during an emergency, and MIT Medical and EHS on their subject matter expertise. If there's an emergency like a disease outbreak or hazardous materials incident, we consult with them on a regular basis. So they're also part of our response structure. MIT News also helps us get out information to everyone on the campus, so they're one of our key partners. And then we're very lucky in that we have a great relationship with our external responders in Cambridge and beyond. So Cambridge Police, Fire, Pro EMS, they come to our campus all the time, and we work with them very regularly, especially MIT Police. So we have a great working relationship with them. In case something bigger happens, we can integrate right into their system, and they can integrate into ours. First, we want to talk to you about communications, because arguably the most important part of any emergency response is being able to communicate. And also being prepared to work with law enforcement, because for this type of incident, they respond very differently than they do to other types of incidents. So it's important to know how they're going to look, what they're going to be doing, and how you can interact with them most effectively during a response to an active shooter or a violent intruder. In any emergency response, we always look at what could we have done better to communicate. So before we start into the active shooter specific information, we want to talk about how you are going to communicate with us, and then how we are going to communicate back to you as well.
We want to tell people that you don't want to be calling 911 in these situations. You want to be calling 617-253-1212. In an emergency, you don't want to be recalling, oh, what is that number again? You want to just have it there. So we recommend everybody take this time and put the number in your phone if you don't already have it in there.
Who knows why we don't call 911? So it goes to Framingham, and they say, oh, you're at MIT, we're going to send you to Cambridge. And then Cambridge says, oh, you're at MIT, we're going to send you to MIT Police. So you will get emergency services that way if you accidentally do it at some point or someone else does it. You will get it, but it is just slightly delayed. And as we know, even seconds can count in an emergency. So we really want you to go directly to MIT Police so that it saves that time and you can get the responders.
The other reason is that people on the MIT campus think of geography completely differently than anyone else in the universe. So, Peter, where are you right now? You're in W20, which to everybody in this room, it makes perfect sense. But to everybody who is not on the MIT campus or familiar with the MIT campus, it means nothing, right? And so if there were an emergency, on top of the fact that you're under stress, you're trying to explain what W20 is, where it is, it's on the MIT campus, it's at 84 Mass Avenue in Cambridge, and all of that stuff takes time. And so to get away from that and make sure you get resources to an emergency as quickly as possible, we tell people to call us, because W20 will mean something to us, right? All right, great.
Okay, so now we've talked about how you can get information to us, and let's talk about how we can get information to you in an emergency. How many of you are signed up for MIT Alert? I hope everybody.
Awesome.
If you're not, I can help you sign up afterwards. But this is how we're going to get you information in a life-threatening emergency. And we have a very strict procedure and criteria for when we send MIT alerts. We don't like to send them, but if we have to, we will. There's two main criteria for sending an MIT alert. One is a life-threatening situation that requires you to take action to stay safe. An example would be an active shooter or a fire, hazardous materials incident. You guys have received some before for these types of reasons. And the second is a major disruption to campus operations. And the reason why we added this one to our procedure was because a lot of you told us you wanted to get text messages for snow closures. So we decided to add that, and so that we can send you MIT alerts for things like snow closures and power outages and things like that. Now, the modes that you're going to get a notice from MIT Alert on, we have quite a few. Text message is probably the most popular one that you all know a lot about, but you can also check email, voicemail, social media, digital signage. For example, in the Infinite Corridor, there's those TV screens. We can sort of commandeer those. In that second one, the disruption to campus operations, we're not going to be sending you the voice call because we know that annoys people, and sometimes we make the decision at 4 in the morning. So we'll only be sending the text message along with other things. But for something like an active shooter that is really urgent, we are going to send every mode that we can. And yes, it's annoying, but it is supposed to be. It's supposed to be disruptive. It's supposed to get your attention. And we will always send at least 2 messages in any emergency requiring an MIT alert, the initial one and an all clear. There might be some messages in between those 2 to give you more information, but you'll always get an all clear so that you know the emergency is over and the campus is safe again. And if you have an iPhone, that's typically what the all clear looks like. That's for one incident that we had at Stata. So we'll always send that so that you know that the campus is safe again. And if you don't remember anything I just said, at least remember this slide. This is our emergency website. When we send the MIT alerts, the text messages only have 140 characters. So this is where we always have more information as soon as we can get it. So if you need to know the nuances of the situation, what's happening, if it's ongoing, we'll always have more information here. And typically our text messages will refer to the website so that you can go check for more information.
So that is our plug for the MIT alert, our plug for the MIT Police Department, and now we're going to kind of dive into the prevention, what these situations actually look like, and what we can do if something like this were to happen here.